Signs point to Paulo and Inseong Jang.
Yes, and Paulo has got to be one of the favorites, being the most decorated out of all the competitors. Inseong had a surprise upset victory, though, over...
I heard something about this. What exactly happened there?
Over AJ.
Oh, well, I wouldn't call that an upset, actually.
Shots fired early. That's the way we're kicking off this one.
Paulo Miyao! 이에 맞서는 대한민국 와이어 주짓수 차인성!
Now, I always thought Paulo Miyao was younger than me, but he's 27. He's a year older than me.
Oh, wow. He's older than you. Okay. Somebody that you have some familiarity with.
Oh, yes. I fought Paulo Miyao probably more than I've competed against anyone else in the jiu-jitsu community, so I have a deep understanding of not only his jiu-jitsu, but also his mind. I'll do my best to explain what he's doing. I haven't seen much of his game recently, but...
It's gotten a lot more pass-heavy, which is interesting.
You know, I think over time, a lot of guard players start transitioning into passing because I would say statistically passing is a more dominant position. Like, I feel like it is more powerful in jiu-jitsu these days. The progression of passing knowledge is growing faster than the progression of guard knowledge.
Guard knowledge, yeah.
That is unless you're using lapels. That's a whole different wormhole.
I see what you did there.
Jang here using the cross pants grip. I actually started doing this recently, but Paulo shut it down by breaking that grip and put him into lasso here. And you can see Jang is kind of weaving his hand out to the outside there. That's very important to do when you're dealing with someone playing a tight lasso. He's going the lasso barambola. He might look for an umaplata here if he inverts all the way.
On the left arm that he just lost.
But he switched. He's looking more for the barambola now.
Inseong, oh, nice knee cut from Inseong.
That's a very strong knee cut, but
does not make it all the way through the guard.
Against a normal human, that might work. But if you're fighting the hybrid alien species of Miyao, probably not as effective. Does he have worm guard here?
I believe we're looking at a little worm guard.
He went straight to reverse Della worm. He's transitioning between ringworm and reverse Della worm very well. That's like one of the things I see a lot of people make mistakes with is they get tunnel vision on one grip. But just like any guard, it has to be fluid. You have to switch between the grips dynamically, not statically.
And now he's just got regular full worm guard, correct?
So the name is kind of confusing, but currently he's in reverse Della worm, and when you just use the left hand around there, it's actually just ringworm guard. Worm guard is when you take your right hand again and bring it to the outside of the knee.
The same place where the left hand is currently.
Exactly, but that was the first guard that I started playing from there with, but I found that ringworm and reverse Della worm work a little bit better together. They're more...
they flow between each other?
Yeah, they benefit each other a lot more, so I kind of have abandoned the traditional worm guard, and I'm mostly reverse Della worm and ringworm. As you can see, Paul here has the same mindset. Those two are the more powerful ones. Now what he's looking to do here is once he gets that reverse Della worm grip, he's going to want to put a deep De La Hiva hook. Oh, but Jang escaped it pretty well. But the thing about it is even when you get your leg out, you kind of just land in another guard. You know, I talk a lot about like layers of guard. And worm guard, there's so many layers after. It's like peeling back an onion.
Yeah, this looks like a single leg X now to an X guard with the worm.
With the worm grip. And from here, it's actually very easy to get back to worm guard itself. He's pulling the leg across so that when he sweeps, he can come up into a leg drag here.
Inseong, though, is stepping around that far leg pretty well.
Yeah, he's doing really well. And, you know, sometimes this can happen against like a super high-level grappler like Paulo Miyao when he's facing someone who may not be on the exact same caliber. I mean, I don't know much about Inseong, but the underdog comes out a lot harder than the veteran. And sometimes that can create like sort of it looks like the veteran is doing worse, but really he's pacing himself a little bit. And we might see Inseong slow down a little now after like putting a lot of effort.
Oh, but he breaks free of that grip. Let's see if that did take a toll on him. He kicks free of the spider grip. Now they're just going to reset back in the center. Paulo still in the guard, playing seated up guard.
This is always an awkward position. It's like whoever gets grips first has the advantage here. So like, but there's no one really talks about what to do exactly like when there's no grips.
But
reaching for a pants there. Is
But
probably a good idea.
arguably it's more beneficial for the passer.
For
correct?
sure. Well, they dictate the action, right? He gets to walk forward first. Paulo Miyao, it's much harder to butt scoot towards someone than it is to walk towards someone. So normally you want to try and engage on top with a dominant grip first. But Jang-sung kind of waded into the grip, so they both got grips at the same time. And kind of missed that advantageous opportunity. Paulo Miyao is really liking this lasso. Lasso is very good defensively, but it's pretty hard to set up offensive attacks from. Watch Paulo submit him here right as I say that.
Well, he's using it on the forearm, so it's going to be more similar to like the Leandro low guard, right?
Right, he might be looking to bring that leg under. Once you get that cross collar grip, he's probably looking for the omoplata here.
Oh, he's going back to the near side, though, threatening that short armbar. Spins all the way through. Wow.
I'm really impressed with
Inseong,
his movement there.
Yeah, that's really good. He's training out of Wire Jiu-Jitsu. His instructor is Choi, which is one of the best black belts out here in Korea, and is really, he's the founder of Wire Jiu-Jitsu and has brought up the whole scene in Korea, I personally believe. He's somebody that's trained also with AOJ, and I used to train with him back in LA. Yeah.
The infamous
That's
Choi
him.
bar,
Yeah,
the unstoppable
that's
arm
it.
bar.
That's Inseong Jang's coach. I was training there last night. I used to train with him in LA.
Yeah, I've trained with him a few times too. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a cut.
Oh, man. That actually looks
Paulo Miyao appears to be
significant.
crying tears of blood.
Oh, I hope he didn't open up that fold of skin right above. Yeah, and he did. That's the one that boxers get all the time, and
That
it's
one's
really like
hard to
you
cover
need
up.
stitches usually, and it can get in the eye. That's
The problem with that one is you can't tape over it, really.
Yeah, you
have to
can't-
tape over the whole eye itself to stop the bleeding. So,
I wonder if they'll take a break and maybe throw some glue in there or something. It depends on how bad it is.
well, the thing is, even if you put any sort of covering over it, the second he
Yeah, it
starts
gets hit.
passing, it's going to get pulled off. So, hopefully they don't stop the match for this.
It very well could, but yeah. I hope
You don't
not
usually
either.
see jiu-jitsu matches stop for cuts, but
That one is just, you take a knee or an elbow just by accident, and
yeah,
that skin separates so easy.
and the Miaos have a lot of jiu-jitsu scar tissue buildup
They
on their
do.
face. I have a little bit as well. It's strange. You can actually get like, you know how a lot of MMA fighters have that scar tissue?
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu guys get it around their like upper cheek and eye area from taking too many flying knees.
Yeah, I had the same exact cut and definitely needed about 7 stitches, and I think
The thing is, the
most
eye
fighters that get this, there's no real way to stop it, and the blood can get in the eye, unfortunately.
Luckily, eyelids don't have that much blood flow, so sometimes the blood bleeding can stop, and maybe it won't be an issue for the rest of the match.
Here's the replay. There's Paulo inverting, and that was a beautiful step out from Inseong.
It's looking like it's starting to coagulate a little.
I hope this is not a fight-ending thing. I mean, if
Oh,
they
yeah.
tape it, too, they have to tape his whole head. There's really no other way around
I
it.
don't see any tape.
They're just going to go with it, which is...
I think that's probably the best choice here.
But it's, I mean, if he gets bumped there again, it
may-
could very well open up.
Yeah, it might bleed a little, but
All right, and they're just going to restart it. Inseong immediately working his passes. Trying to step on the leg. He does break through the spider grip, but still stuck in the lasso.
stepping on the leg there is a
Steps over to the far side, which can be risky, and Paulo's going to use that to invert. He's going to throw that 50-50 hook, but the leg comes to the far side.
This position, as tangled up as they are, Paulo doesn't have that many offensive options from here. He's going to have
Maybe
to
going to try to
reset.
spin under. Yeah, he's going to try to get that 50-50 again, or use the lasso.
From here, I'd like to see him let go of the lasso and start to get control with that foot, with like a reverse De La Hiva hook or something. Get it underneath his opponent so he can possibly get to X guard. It looks like he let go of it there.
Yeah, he let go of it pretty quickly.
So
Now looking to turn it into maybe a waiter sweep, but his leg's on the far side.
And then he's transitioning into what I call squid guard. He's got sort of like a waiter / squid guard with that lapel on the opposite side.
Oh, does he have the lapel?
Yeah, he passed it to his hand. Oh, it looks like he let go already, but
I think he was just trying to use his right foot underneath the armpit to push Inseong away, so that way he can get his left foot back to the near waiter side.
there's only 53 seconds left in this.
It's still 0-0, so it's going to go to ref's decision.
You know, I honestly,
if there's no
Inseong
points.
could win this ref decision because he was like, you can't, even though he was doing defensive movements, he's been on top. And like, I feel like jiu-jitsu as a whole, people are sort of awarding these referee decisions to the person who was on top.
Yeah, and especially like we were talking too, like especially if they're outside of the close guard,
Yeah,
too, which is kind of the more old school way to
Right.
to ref it. But
I would say close guard from bottom is more dominant than being on top in an open guard. But in this fight, it could definitely go to
working this waiter sweep though, does work his way all the way underneath. Now in like a modified X guard.
Paul really needs to create some distance with his legs here, extending away. He should stand up here, but Inseong's base is just...
Oh, and before he can hit his technical stand-up and try to get the sweep, this is going to end. This is this could throw a monkey wrench in the gears.
Absolutely. Paulo was not able to mount any sort of real attack. He was controlling with his grips, but never even put Inseong on his butt or anything, I don't think.
Yeah, and Inseong with a near knee cut pass too.
And just on damage dealt, I'm going to have to give it to Inseong.
Damage.
Look at there's definitely some damage there.
It's true. This will be interesting to see how they score it.
Oh, split decision.
It's going to go to Paulo.
For Paulo. I think that could have easily gone either way.
Either way,
I
no.
think refs in general just sort of lean towards the guy who's like supposed to win in these situations, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it had gone to either person.
I think it was really close, honestly.
The winner by decision, Paulo Miyao.
How long was that match? What are the match times? 6 minutes? It felt fast.
It did feel fast. There was a lot of action going on, a lot of guard work.